Mukobe Morris Masuta. I'm the founder and volunteer of Thusanani Foundation. I started Thusanani in response to challenges that I was able to observe in institutions of higher learning and in communities. But most importantly, I also started Thusanani Foundation in response to the challenges that I personally went through from coming from a rural area all the way up to Wits University. My experience in the Council for Readmissions Committee, where you hear a lot of stories as to why students drop out of university, or even if it is for that matter, shaped the agency with which I decided to respond to those challenges. So Ndando and I decided to pilot Thusanani Foundation, and we started in Vembe district. In our minds, we were trying to duplicate our experience. We were trying to make sure that whatever went right in our evolution as a student from rural Eastern Cape to Wits or rural Venda to Wits, we could duplicate all those positives to as many rural areas as possible.
Okay? We are all from rural areas, me and you. Okay? Yes. The only thing that is standing between you and the university is your marks.
That was the crux of why we formed Thusanani Foundation, to respond to challenges which were impacting negatively on the lives of rural youth in as far as accessing post-schooling opportunities are concerned. And we knew exactly what went right in our experience, and we decided to make sure that they also are aware of how to access university, how to stay focused when you're in high school, how to select subjects that are in line with the careers you intend to pursue, and most importantly, how to secure funding opportunities that are in line with what you intend to study when you're inside the university.
We often think that being prepared to university is just about getting good grades. But when you get good grades and go to university, it's not just good grades that make you succeed. The university culture, the institutional culture is different. Most of the students get to university and they get shocked by a culture that they are not used to. And organizations like Thusanani Foundation introduce students to university life in a way that makes them succeed, because it's not success. It doesn't only rely on your intellectual capability. You know, if we are going to make South Africa a better place to live in, we've got to pay attention to our young people. I agreed to be a board member of Thusanani because I want to contribute to youth development, and this is an excellent way of doing it. Firstly, it's an organization that's led by a young person who's a leader in his own rights, and that's important to affirm that kind of capability and commitment to development. So I agreed to get involved because I subscribe to the idea of changing South Africa one learner at a time, and Thusanani Foundation is doing that, and I think this is the best way to contribute and for other people to do that as well. The fact that you are the one running this organization, who started it and is running it, on its own is an important story for those learners that you work with in the rural areas, because you are them. They see themselves in you, and they can look at you and say, if he can do it, and he went to Wits University right here from Venda, he not only did he get his degrees, but look at what he's done. It says to them they can do it too.
My name is Ngoba Kendaba. I'm 19 years old. I'm from the small town called Kingindlovu in KwaZulu-Natal, and I'm a Thusanani Foundation beneficiary. I'm doing the Bachelor of Clinical and Medical Practice here at Wits University. And the main reason I'm doing this degree is because where I'm coming from in KZN, there is a lot of shortage of clinical practitioners, and people suffer when they are going to the health department. So I wanted to assist in my community in that, yeah. And I'm so grateful that Thusanani gave me that opportunity, because at the beginning of the year I didn't have a sponsor, I didn't have a residence. If it wasn't for Thusanani, I wouldn't be here by now.
My name is Kolofelo Pasamushaka. I'm 22 years. I've completed my degree in nuclear science and engineering last year, and now I'm currently studying towards my second degree in mechanical engineering here at Wits. And I am from Sekhukhune, Kamaila Mapitsane. I completed my matric in 2010, and I came to Wits and met Morris. At that time, Thusanani Foundation was not yet up on its feet, and then I came to Mary's, who hooked me up with Jacob Zuma Foundation, and I got the scholarship to study towards my degree. I'm really grateful for the help that I received from Maurice, because he's been there throughout the degree and asking me how I'm doing, how is it going, and at the same time helping other students who are in need like myself. So I'm really grateful, and I hope that Thusanani will help other students who are in need as I was in those days.
We know that getting into university or FET college, which is now a TVET college, is one thing. To respond to why people drop out, we then decided to bridge the experiential gap between, say, a MAD school in Limpopo and Wits University as an environment, or UJ as an environment of learning. And you had to attend to things like language skills, English, your computer literacy, writing skills, the critical soft skills that can make or break you at first year level. And that way we also pair you with seniors who are in the same field of study. So the work that we've been doing with the School of Human and Community Development at Wits is that third year psychology students would mentor first year psychology students. That way they can not only assist them with their academic work and in adjusting to the campus environment, but they can also assist them with other social problems that they may have encountered and have been able to go past them, basically.
My name is Ndibo Mawadawere. I'm studying at Wits. I'm doing BSc Material Science with Metallurgy. This course is for 5 years. Materials, I can say, is the study of materials like glass, copper, and so on. So materials is another course, which is the study of metals, where you can go and work in mines and so forth. My parents are unemployed. My father is a pensioner. My mother does not work. I met these guys, especially the CEO of Thusanani, a chamber of mines at Wits. I didn't know the Thusanani first, but I needed to know them because this guy told me the name is Redinde. Told me that there's this organization called Thusanani. It helps people like you who have who are financially disabled, who cannot pay their fees. So I came to these guys and they tell me a lot of things which I can do at Wits and be able to progress with my studies.
I think in South Africa the mental health problems that students experience are exacerbated by lack of resources, by poverty. We know, for example, that social support is key to supporting people in terms of mental health. People who come from rural areas who are under-resourced often come into the university without the kind of social support assistance that students who come from more affluent, or from, if we take Wits as an example, who come from around this area, will often have a social support network that kids from other... So the problems that we're seeing globally are here, and they're exacerbated by local conditions.
There's a mismatch in this country between available opportunities and those that need to access those opportunities. So the Thusanani Foundation will close that crucial gap, which gives information to people about a whole range of things on opportunities for funding, when is the closing date, the piece of paper that is required in order to apply for NSFAS, what a student should take at high school if they want to be a medical doctor, and so on.
And what I like about Thusanani Foundation is they don't just start, you don't just start with learners that are just about to finish. You start even earlier to prepare them to start thinking about career, preparation for university. And that goes hand in hand with planning for their career, their field of study. You help them in terms of the mentorship programs that you have at an early stage, I believe from grade 9. So basically you get them set on thinking about their future and planning, and thinking also about their transitioning, and really planning for which university they want to study and what program of study.
I think if you look at South Africa, one of our biggest challenges in South Africa is the inequality divides. And so long as we have these inequality divides, we cannot create an inclusive society and an inclusive democracy. And the fact that the foundation is creating an enabling environment for poor people in rural areas to come and get a quality education and thereby go back and heal the inequality divides is absolutely fantastic. Wits University is a very enabling environment for the development of young leaders. And what happens is many of these young leaders move on to become leaders in society. I often laugh and say, Gwede Montash is an alumnus, as is Helen Zilla, as is Floyd Chibambu. Many members of the cabinet are members, we're alumni of Wits University. And we're particularly proud of that. We don't only provide leaders for civil society and the political parties. The largest number of CEOs in this country are produced by Wits University. The largest number of civic leaders are produced by Wits University. That is just by its very nature what Wits is and where we locate it.
What will make me more happy is seeing Thusanani fellows and alumni going back to their communities through using the umbrella of Thusanani Foundation to volunteer their own expertise and services to their respective communities. This will assist in two ways. One, it will shape their thinking. So you will not have a lawyer who only understands law. Two, it will also make sure that those who are from Nongoma, when they see a graduate from Nongoma, then they begin to believe that actually being in Nongoma does not permanently condemn you to poverty or hopelessness. And that for me, it's much more fulfilling than individual brilliance or individual success.
In many cases, people are passionate about issues while they are still at university. But the majority of them, not only coming from Wits, not only coming from a South African university, but throughout the world, that when people leave university and they graduate, they lose that fire in their belly about making a difference to the world. And in his case, he has sustained that to the extent that every time, he knows that every time I meet with him, I ask him when he's going to do his PhD. So it's really an admirable effort, and as I say, I always, from time to time, when I'm talking to people and talking about student volunteerism, student dedication, I will always make an example about what he has established.
When you arrive in those areas, you can see the hunger to succeed. You can see the hunger and the drive to escape the shackles of poverty. And that inspires our volunteers. It inspires our volunteers to work even harder. It inspires Thusanani Foundation to work even harder because we witness, there's nothing worse than trying to help someone who cannot help themselves. But what we are doing is not spoon-feeding these communities. We are creating an enabling environment for them to break the cycle of poverty. And by so doing, we are moving South Africa forward. We are moving Sesonke forward, we are moving KwaZulu-Natal forward, we are moving the Eastern Cape forward. And that to me, it's something that I'm so happy. I'm so happy. In fact, I'm convinced that with the necessary support and the necessary interventions and the necessary resources, we can be able to reach out to 100,000 youth by 2017.